Hello, Atlanta. It's your girl Sharon, the new host of the podcast, Atlanta Hood Connection. Today, I have a young lady with me who represents Mechanicville, and we're gonna talk and have a good time. Welcome. Her name is Shon Slayton, and I'm gonna turn it over to her. How about you tell us something about you?
Hmm, Something about me. I'm 47 years old and grew up, born and raised on McDaniel and Fulton Street in Mechanicsville. Um, I work in special educations for Atlanta Public School System. I'm a private duty nurse, been one for 20 years, well, over 20 years.
So,
Um, I have one daughter, she's 14, my only child. Thank you, Lord.
are you a great baby?
Yes, born and raised.
And again, that hood that you representing today is
Mechanicsville, McDaniel and Glenn.
McDaniel and Glenn.
Mhm.
Do you have a nickname?
Sean.
That is your name. That's your nickname.
Yes.
Before we get into um Mechanicsville, what school are you teaching at?
John Lewis Evictus Academy
Okay.
in the
Special
city.
ed.
Yes.
How is that working with the special ed kids?
I love it. It's like little mini multiple personalities. I mean, most of the kids that I deal with are SIDPID kids, which are, I want to say, they are physically disabled kids. They have different, like some of them have autism, some of them have like multiple sclerosis, some of them have like Down syndromes, like different disabilities. But I've dealt with them all, so
Yeah.
I love it.
Wow. And you've been doing that how long?
Ooh, I've been working with special needs for I think this October will be 9 years.
That's amazing because it takes a special person to really work with those special ed kids. I think
Oh yes.
yes, indeed. So, what are some of your challenges?
Ooh, behaviors. Because you have a lot of kids that have like I want to say not really abusive behaviors, but they like to attack, they bite, they scratch, kick
How do you handle that?
with a lot of patience.
I'm sure. I'm sure.
But no, it takes a lot. You just have to realize that I don't want to say they don't know what they're doing because they do know what they're doing, but their disability plays a big role in their behaviors and their aggressiveness. So just it's a little tactic way you have to deal with them. But you can't basically you can't let it get to you. Put it that way. Because a lot of people
Skin.
yes, exactly. A lot of people can't handle it. So and it comes with a lot of patience. It does, because you have to have patience to put up with it. So
Is
that's
there
it.
any particular kid that you seen improvement in since you've been working with them? Because like me, for instance, I don't know if I could do it.
A lot of people say that. I mean, I've seen one child particular when she first got there, she was all over the place, and
What I mean, I don't know, place with it.
I mean, she was like running from one end of the cafeteria to the other end, would not sit down, would walk around with food in her hand, just like all over the place.
Okay.
So I think she came in. So from August to now she knows like when it's time to eat, she knows how to go to her seat, sit down.
Oh, awesome.
She does that. She doesn't run around. She'll sit, I want to say probably for about a good 10 to 15 minutes without getting up. So,
Okay.
which is a big improvement.
Yes, indeed.
And she knows how to pick up behind herself now with the proper directions. She will. But And most of the kids are like nonverbal.
Mm-hmm.
So you have to learn different ways to communicate with them and for them. So
So it would be some hand gestures you use.
uh sit. um what else do I use with her? She knows, let me see, sit down. She knows how to, if I tell, I mean, well, she understands my verbal commands, but as far as her, she responds to verbal commands, but as far as her giving them, she don't give any.
Okay. All right. Awesome. You all right with me, girl? All right. Jeez, that's awesome. Got me. And you're a little something too on top of that.
Yeah.
Awesome. And you said you was a caregiver giver too, right?
Yes.
Another one. There's something else.
Yeah, I started in a nursing home
Mm-hmm.
and realized I had a little niche for it. So I worked for a nursing home for like 2 years and then I moved to private duty.
So niche. So what does that mean really?
Um, hmm. I don't mind doing what other people won't do.
Okay.
Like I've had a lot of people that ask me, "How do you wipe people butt?" I mean, somebody got to wipe your butt one day, so it
I'm gonna
comes
keep it
natural.
down. I'm gonna keep your number.
So, I mean, it's just normal to me. I just feel like I don't mind doing what somebody can't do for themselves.
Yes, indeed.
So that's that's about it.
I mean, that's just awesome. I mean, I just don't know what else to say. This is beautiful, beautiful. Love you already. Oh my God, that's awesome. Yeah, we're gonna keep your number for real. Okay. Okay, growing up in Mechanicsville, how was that?
I mean, it was fair for me because I basically, like I said, I grew up there all the way up until I was like, I think 17 or 18.
Any specific places that you remember that you had fun with?
Yes, summer camp. We went to Camp Best Friend at the Dunbar Recreation Center.
Okay.
And it was fun. We went every year and we had a swimming pool like right across from it. And we used to go take swimming lessons and go on field trips and I learned a lot of stuff from there. I learned how to macrame. I learned how to cheer.
So microwave.
Macrame is like yarn art.
Yarn art.
Yes.
Awesome.
Hmm.
Macrame.
Yeah.
Okay, what was a day like? Okay, at 6 or 7, 8, let's say 8. What was that day like being in Mechanicsville?
Which meant age 8 or like 8 o'clock at
Age
night. Eight.
age 8.
Oh, that was a long time ago. Let me see. Well, summertime, basically you get up in the morning, have like your cereal or whatever. Then we would walk to the to the center. I lived on Fulton and McDaniel, so the center was on Windsor Street. So we basically had to walk across a field to get to the center. Once we got to summer camp, we would sit down, get in our little groups. And then we would break off into like, I guess like I think it used to go from 5 to 6, then 7, 8 year group, 8, 9. Then spend our day at the summer camp doing different like arts and crafts. We did like sports, um, other little things like that. And then after summer camp, we go home. Little girls will make little mud pies and
There you go.
play with Barbie dolls and stuff like that. Well, yeah, I mean, back in the days, my mom and dad both worked, so I think our house was like the fun house.
Okay.
So basically, me and my brother had all the like toys and stuff that other kids didn't have.
Yes, indeed.
So they would come to our house to play. Like I used to have like Barbie doll playhouse and a swimming pool and a little remote control convertible, a little what Bougetto. But that's what ghetto
Oh, I love
is.
it.
A little bougie little ghetto right there together. So that's
Okay.
about
So you had a bicycle and all of that too. And
bicycle and strawberry shortcakes, roller skates.
yes, indeed. So it was just you and your brother?
Yes. Yep, just me and my brother.
Taking a break. I emphasize something on the kids because, like, I was talking to my husband, and he was like, really take a special person to do what you do, and I really mean that. But I wanted to say, is that something you always wanted to do?
No, it
It
wasn't.
landed in.
Well, I guess because, well, the way I got started into like private duty nursing was I had a friend and she was looking for a job one day and she was like, I'm gonna apply for this job working at a nursing home. And I was like, oh, a nursing home? Like, oh, why you want to do that? And I just so happened went with her
Mm-hmm.
and when I was helping her fill out the application, I was like, well, let me just go ahead and do it. Just something to do. I filled out the application, got the job, went through a training or whatever. Once I went through the training, I was acing all the tests and everything. So I was like, okay, so I might like this. And once I got involved in it, like the hands-on training,
Mm-hmm.
I just like fell in love with it. So it was I couldn't stay working in a nursing home because I saw too much neglect in the nursing home. So my heart couldn't take that. And so that's when I branched off to do private duty. So basically from there, working with elderly to SID, which are, like I say, the medically needed kids. And like I say, most of them, they can't do anything for themselves. So I have to G-tube feed some of them.
What's a G-tube feed?
It's where they basically take all of their food through a port in their stomach,
Okay.
and you basically connect the tube to the port and feed them through the tube.
Okay.
So we do that. Like some of them may have like brain damage or something like that.
So, I mean, so what's the goal though? I mean, is to make them as, I guess for lack of a better word, normal as possible, or just
Well, they will never be normal, but I guess to make them, I guess, seem like they're normal or not make them feel abnormal.
there you go.
So that's the goal. To basically let them have the most normal life they can in their condition.
Awesome. And again, I mean, so you just wanted to do special ed, or is there? I'm trying to figure out what is the core here as to
What led me to special ed?
yes,
I felt like I wasn't doing enough when I was doing my private duty nursing because I've had so many different clients and they were, dying on me. I had a couple of them die in my arms, which kind of, affected me a little bit. But I felt like the younger, I guess, I could grow with them
yes.
and like help them more, and they can help me. I can help me. They see, I learn from them. They learn from me.
Wow.
So that's why I got into special ed because I felt like I just needed more. I wanted to do more. So that's how I started in special ed.
All right. I think you converting me over here. I think you are. You're working on me. Okay, so let's just talk about your school life for a minute. You said you went to Dunbar Elementary.
Yes, Paul Lawrence Dunbar Elementary.
Okay. How
Yes.
was that? You remember any of your
Mm,
elementary school years?
I think I remember when I was younger. Well, first started out, I was like a cheerleader,
Okay.
and we used to do like the Morris Brown parades. That was fun. But we didn't have to do much. We just had pom poms and just like little hand motions. That's about it. But it was fun. I remember my cheerleading coach, Miss Ivy.
Okay.
Let me see. Do I remember first? I know my second grade teacher was Miss Pittman, and I remember back in those days, the teachers could punish the kids or discipline, put it that way, discipline the kids.
That's right.
Yes, because I remember she used to use this like wooden, I want to say like a band stick, the little wooden stick that had the ridges on it. And we would have to ball up our fists and she would hit us right on our knuckles if we did something wrong.
And you got hit?
Yes.
Uh-uh.
I was a little sassy something back then.
That Wow.
Yeah, so I remember that.
So if some of your friends were looking at the videotape, what kind of things can you tell us back then that they would say, "Oh yeah, I remember that,"
From Dunbar, let me see.
or
We used to have jump rope contests.
okay,
I remember that.
did you
Let's
win?
see. I don't think so. Well, not that I remember. What else did we used
What you
to
win
do?
if you won the jump rope contest?
Ooh,
Don't remember.
I do not remember.
That's okay. Okay, then you left there and went to
I left Dunbar and we went to King Middle School. What is
West King. I don't know what that is.
King's is in the Summerhill neighborhood.
Okay.
So it's what's it, Connolly Avenue? I think that's
So what's
the
the
name of
difference
it.
between Summerhill and Mechanicville?
Hmm. What's the difference? Mechanicsville is a little bit bigger than Summerhill as far as the population. I think they have more of multiple neighborhoods combined into one. And I think Summerhill, I'm not sure, but I think they may have maybe like two neighborhoods that's combined into one neighborhood.
Okay. Well, would they play with you if you from Summerhill? Oh,
Well, the girls were kind of neutral, but the boys they fought all the time. Yeah, they have neighborhood rivalries, but the girls really didn't. It was more a boy thing.
okay. Okay, so did you continue to be a cheerleader at King
No.
in
Mm-mm.
activities?
When I was at King, I was in the marching band. I started playing the clarinet at King. Mr. Camp, he was our band director. He was he was fun, but he was mean. So I do remember that at King.
And you got your best friends there.
Actually, I'm still best friends with one of my friends from King Middle School. We met in seventh grade, and we're still friends to this day.
Awesome.
Matter of fact, we're planning a spa day soon.
Awesome. That's cool. And you went to high school?
Yes, I went to Southside Comprehensive High School, which is also called Maynard Jackson High now.
Mm-hmm.
In Southside, what did I do? Marching band. I was Beta Club. Um, Really, that was my fun year, so I didn't do too much stuff. I mean, I was academically smart, but other than that, I didn't really do too many activities once I got to high school.
Yep.
I didn't do any sports.
No sports.
No. Mm-mm.
Okay. Oh, why not sports?
I was a girly girl. I was, I don't know. I think back then, like girl sports wasn't as big as it is now.
Mm-hmm.
So we had like softball and they had like girls basketball, but I wasn't into stuff like that. I was more into like home ed.
Mm-hmm.
And that's one thing I liked about Southside. We had a lot of different, we had like construction classes, auto mechanic,
Mm-hmm.
like home ed, we had stuff. So I actually participated in all those classes. I didn't really do much, but I was in those classes. I learned how to build a brick wall in my construction class.
Really?
Yeah.
Have you used that since?
No.
Cute.
Mm-mm.
Okay. Or prom. You should go to the prom. How was that?
Ooh, yes, I did. My junior prom was 1994,
Wow.
and that was the first Freaknik that I remember.
Oh wow. You go to free?
I did in my prom dress. So that was fun. I think we were leaving like our hotel, and some kind of way we got stuck in the Freaknik traffic.
Yes, indeed.
Oh, it was fun. It wasn't as rowdy as people want it
Made it
to
to be.
be. Yes, it was like a big block party.
Yes, indeed.
So that was my first experience with Freaknik was my junior prom, after my junior prom.
You danced? You on one of them videos?
If so, it's not ratchet. But we were hanging out cars and stuff like that, but we were fully clothed. Definitely was fully clothed.
Okay, cool. And the nursing home job, that was your first job?
No, my first job was when I was 14 working for, I think we call it PIC. It was like a summer program through Atlanta,
Mm-hmm.
and it was at a daycare center actually that was at Georgia Hill Recreation Center on Georgia Avenue in Summer Hill. That was my first job working in a daycare center.
Okay.
Yeah.
What was your favorite shopping places?
Growing up,
Mm-hmm.
well, growing up, my mom used to always take us to Phipps Plaza,
Oh,
which
oh,
wasn't as popular
no,
back
no,
then.
no.
So we used to go, it used to be a store,
Oh, bougie, bougie, what you call it?
Bougetto. There used to be a store called Parisians at Phipps Plaza back in the days.
We ain't go across the street. Fair Plaza. Yeah.
So we would go there, and my mom would buy us like all the little Guess, and
Yes,
we
indeed.
used to wear like Guess and little polo and stuff like that when we were back in the days. So that was my favorite shopping
You can
place.
see me looking at you. Awesome. 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 Okay, so tell me about your mini me.
Hmm. What can I say about her? She's 14. I think she's 14 going on like maybe 54 because she's past the 30s, she's past the 40s.
What I mean?
I think she thinks that she's my mom. So, oh my gosh. But I showed my high school friends her prom picture because she went to the prom. I want to say, was it last Saturday?
Mm-hmm.
So I showed them her picture, and the first thing they said, "Oh, that's you. She looks just like me when I was in school."
Oh, wow.
So a lot of people say she's like my mirror image.
That's why I said mini me.
So I was like, "Oh my God, she has my attitude." But I have to tell her a lot. I mean, there's a time and a place for everything. So I know how to kind of like channel my attitude. My attitude on you have to bring it out of me. But with her, it's all over her face. Like she don't have to say anything. It's just there. Like her attitude just stands out and it sucks. I try to tell her you can't do that nowadays. Nowadays you have to learn how to, I guess, like compose yourself and when and where to use your attitude. So she's a handful. And pocket. She stays in my pocket. She's very, I keep her busy.
Yes,
So
indeed.
I think I'm what you call it, a helicopter parent.
Okay.
So I don't let her, I don't want to say I don't want to let her, but I try to keep her involved. So
Mm-hmm.
basically, she's a competitive cheerleader. She runs track. She does flag football. She used to be in
Wow.
Girl Scouts. She used to take up tap, jazz, and ballet dance. So she's in my pocket. She stays in my pocket, but I prefer that. I prefer to keep her active than to keep her out of the statistic world.
Exactly. Okay, we back. Um, you was telling us about how Freaknik found you, or you found it,
Mhm.
and the question was, did you find it the second year? And your answer is
I did. No problem. I came prepared the second year. So the second year was my senior prom. I had a date for the senior prom. So after the prom, we changed clothes and trying to, I guess, get to our next destination. We ended up in Freaknik traffic. So, but I was prepared. I didn't have to go in my prom dress my senior year. I had change of clothes.
good.
We actually had Freaknik t-shirts, and my mom still has her Freaknik t-shirt from back then.
Your mom has
Yeah, she
okay.
don't
Hold
throw
up, you
nothing
gotta do
away.
something else. Oh, So how she end up with a freaking t-shirt?
She was like a vendor. She was selling them on the corner of Northside Drive and ML King.
Made that money.
Yes. Oh yeah, she was selling Freaknik t-shirts.
That's awesome. You got a cool mom?
Sometimes she's cool. She's a whole lot more lenient on my child than she was on me and my brother.
Of
So,
course. Grandmamas.
yes. Oh, yeah. She was that no tolerance, no, she didn't play type parent. But I think she kind of allowed my brother to get away with more stuff than me because guess I'm a girl, which I felt like it was double standards. So I got that a lot. We had arguments till to this day. We still argue about things about how she treats my brother different than me. So
Same here, honey. Same here. What's your favorite restaurant?
ooh. Hmm. Well, to be honest, my favorite restaurant is Waffle House.
Really?
Yes.
And why?
Oh, so many reasons. Because I love my hash browns and my pork chops and my bacon and my cheese eggs and my cheese steak on toast and whew, I just want some right now.
We can make that happen now.
Yeah, so my favorite restaurant is Waffle House.
Awesome. Um, what about your dating life?
Hmm,
Have that.
dating life, what is that? Hmm, interesting.
What does that look
What does that look like? I have a friend, just friend, nothing serious. Nothing.
like?
Just have a friend.
Okay, well, we're gonna let that stay where it is. Okay, we're gonna let that stay just right there. Okay, tell us about Corday. Corday?
Oh, my little eighth grader. Interesting. He's new. He was new to the school, and I would always see him in the hallways and doing like just little things. And I just struck a conversation with him and, realized that he needed a little bit more attention than a lot of other kids.
Mm-hmm.
So I kind of like embraced him and kind of like, I guess, befriended him.
Mm-hmm.
So he kind of like trusts me or come and talk to me when he's having a lot of problems with like any of his teachers or in his classes. If he don't want to go to class, he'll come to my classroom and just hang out for a minute and then I'll boost him to go back to class or, kind of calm him down. If he's upset, whew, that takes a lot. It kind of takes me a minute to kind of reel him in and bring him back to his normal. I have to have him to calm down a lot before he can go back to class, if he goes back to class. So he's like one of my little challenges at the school.
Anything funny he does that stands out?
He, I want to say he does a flip with a split.
Uh-oh. How you do that?
That was quite interesting to see because he would run down the hall and like not a full cartwheel, but like a little something and hit a split. And it kind of threw me off when I first saw it. But hey, that's his thing. Okay. Yeah, he's interesting.
You got any hot spots in Atlanta that you go to?
Mm,
No.
Not since I had my child. Since I had my child, I don't do nothing no more. Not really. I don't go nowhere. I don't do nothing. It's all about her.
I get it.
It's all about her. Before her, I used to have a couple hot spots. We used to go to like 559 and this was a sports bar on Old National. Um the spot. That's what it used to be called back in the days. And we used to go to like 112 and
Oh,
Sharon Showcase and a lot of those places
yeah. Oh,
back
yes.
in the days. But now, I have no idea what's going on now.
Mhm. Any trips you've taken that are fun?
Yes. What's my latest trip I've been on? Most of my trips were with my child with her competitive cheer, and we would travel to like um Orlando and it's Orlando, Myrtle Beach, different places like that. But the funnest place we've been, I guess it was like Orlando and Tennessee. We went to Gatlinburg, Tennessee, and there's a lot in the mountains.
Yeah.
Most of my trips now are like family oriented with her, so that was most of the fun. Like we did one last year, we stayed at like a Disney resort where all of the rooms we had like theme rooms.
Okay.
So they had Frozen room, they had a
Wow.
Mickey and Minnie room, a what is it, Harry Potter room, and a Minions room. That was really cool. Oh.
You was talking about the empty stocking funds you weren't able to participate in, and you want to share that with us.
Well, when I was growing up in elementary school, a lot of my friends used to get, I guess, Christmas stuff from the Empty Stocking Fund, like little Senate diaries and little dolls, and they had a lot of little cool stuff that I didn't have. And I used to go home and ask my mom, well, why didn't I get this for Christmas, or why did I get that for Christmas? And back then, I guess she didn't want to tell me the reason why I couldn't get it, but it was because I had two parents that worked and had jobs, so they made too much money for me to get empty stocking funds. But I wanted the little Senate pages smell good diary. I wanted one of those with the little lock and key and the little pink and purple pages. Yes, I wanted that, but I couldn't get that. Yeah.
If you can go back and tell in time
Mhm.
and give your 18-year-old self some advice, what?
Mm. One advice I would give my 18-year-old self was to go to college and stay in college. Finish it out. Because I gave myself like a year to kind of like breathe. And that year turned into like another year and another year and another year. And it's like, okay, when are you just going to go finish? Go do it. So, yes, go finish, then breathe. That would be yes, that's my advice.
Or would you like to share anything else about yourself that you haven't done already?
Mm, My future self.
All right.
My future self. Hmm. What's my advice for my future self? To be you. Because, like, I feel like now I'm a giver.
Mm-hmm.
So I give more than I receive, which is not a problem. But my future self has to put myself first.
Awesome.
That's my advice for my future self.
Awesome. And you should at some point. I know you do good work and it's important work that you're doing, and because a lot of people can't do it.
Mhm.
So you stay special. Thank you for coming on my podcast, sharing your story.
You're
Okay.
welcome.
I'd like to take this time to say, today is Memorial Day, which she took,
Mhm.
she didn't have to come over and do the podcast, but she did. So I'd like to thank all the servicemen for serving our country. And now it's a very important time. And what I want you to do is take this in consideration that it's voting time and it's important that we vote. Okay. Thank you for watching. Thank you for listening. Thank you for the support. Cover up your hood.